The art of war in Overwatch. The art of war is of vital importance to the state. Sun Tzu.
Hello everybody and welcome to The Art of Overwatch. I'm JSR Lucio. Please note that the background music for this series will be from JetSetRadio.live, the best place on the internet. So I'm new to the whole YouTube thing. But I got the motivation to make this series when I was sitting around with a few friends, downing some cold ones and talking about Overwatch, and with us discussing just how similar to Warfare it can be. Now, I'm aware another YouTuber did a similar series several years ago for League of Legends. His name was GBay99. However, my series will be somewhat different. See, when GBay did his series, he did it from the perspective of somebody already fairly skilled at the game. At least in my eyes he was. I believe he was high platinum when he started that. Now, I am no such thing in Overwatch. Season 2 I qualified into plat, but my SR was in gold range when the season ended. I barely played Seasons 3 and 4 because I didn't have my computer at the time. For Season 5, I qualified into Silver and stayed there. Now we're coming into Season 6, I just qualified back into Silver. And I'm tired of not feeling like I'm going anywhere in Overwatch. So you'll not only see me detailing how I believe the art of war can be used and applied in Overwatch, but you will also be able to see me improving over time in gameplay sessions. As I employ each proverb of the art of war in game, you'll hopefully get to see me improve as I play more, and keeping more of Sun Tzu's teachings in mind. This is something GBay didn't quite do as much of himself, detailing his own improvements. Now, because we're in the early Season 6 right now, I'm mostly going to cover the beginning, a significant portion of how Sun Tzu lays out the premise to everything said in his teachings.
Sun Tzu's The Art of War, Chapter 1, Laying Plans. Sun Tzu said the art of war is of vital importance to the state.
Alright, so the art of war, vital importance to the player as well. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't really need too much explanation on how important this can be. I mean, if you think about it, Overwatch is a form of conflict. Conflict is war.
It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected.
Now, it's not quite as important as life or death, Overwatch. However, it does have quite a bit of pertinence to one's self-esteem, to be able to say, hey, I'm not bronze, I'm gold, I'm plat, I'm diamond, and it can even lead to a career in professional gaming if you're good enough. So, this is a subject that can't be neglected, honestly. And if you do what, for example, GBay99 earlier, most of what his series was analyzing plays, either by his peers or by pros. And as such, you can see how they utilize the art of war.
The art of war, then, is governed by 5 constant factors to be taken into account in one's deliberations when seeking to determine the conditions obtaining in the field. These are 1. The moral law, 2. Heaven, 3. Earth, 4. The commander, 5. Method and discipline. The moral law causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler, so that they will follow him regardless of their lives, undismayed by any danger.
Now, the moral law is an interesting one. Basically means everyone gets together and understands the basic premise of screw the red team. Get everybody on your team behind that idea. Screw the red team. Don't need to be nice to them. They're your enemy. You destroy them. And just make sure that your shot caller has the majority of the players behind him. Make sure that we figure out early who the shot caller is. And even better if you can get a large stack, maybe a 5 stack, maybe a 4 stack if you can get enough people behind your shot caller.
Heaven signifies night and day, cold and heat, times and seasons.
Now there are ebbs and flows in every game, and Overwatch is no different. There are team fights, setting back up, there's attacking, there's defending, there's holding the point, and there's taking the point. There's being on the payload, and there's trying to stop the payload. There are a lot of different positions you can be in Overwatch.
Earth comprises distances, great and small, danger and security, open ground and narrow passes, the chances of life and death.
Now for Earth, it's knowing the map as well as you can and using it to your advantage, not just for the character you're playing, but for your enemies. For example, let's say you're in Numbani and you're on attack, and you know their team has a Reaper that has been camping the indoors area, up through the building. And you know Reaper's really strong in close quarters combat. That's that small area. That's that narrow passage. And Reaper has a lot more power than most other characters in small passages like that. Additionally, it's knowing the map as well as you can for your player, as I just said a minute ago. This is all paramount to your ability to succeed in the game. This is especially coming from me as a Lucio main. Knowing how to traverse the map is how you keep your teammates alive effectively when they're split up, and it's how you get the most out of the ult economy.
The commander stands for the virtues of wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, and strictness.
So your shot caller is your commander. They need to be empathetic and understanding to individual plights, not just lashing out at people for getting killed, for example, yelling at a Mercy for not hiding. While at the same time they need to be skilled at the game, but also willing to reprimand and take command properly when necessary. They need to be able to view every situation as well as possible, be understanding of deaths, but being willing to punish just straight up poor plays.
By method and discipline are to be understood the marshalling of the army and its proper subdivisions, the graduations of rank among the officers, the maintenance of roads by which supplies may reach the army, and the control of military expenditure.
Method and discipline is a little bit more iffy in Overwatch because you're not a military, but a lot of this is about making sure that your players are well kept after, making sure nobody gets on tilt, making sure everyone's not playing hungry, playing thirsty, playing drunk, playing with their ass hurting because their couch cushion is squished down and you can't really do anything about it, making sure everyone maybe gets a little bit of a walk between games, stuff like that. Just trying to make sure that your guys can train together.
These 5 heads should be familiar to every general. He who knows them will be victorious. He who knows them not will fail. Therefore, in your deliberations, when seeking to determine the military conditions, let them be made the basis of a comparison, in this wise. 1. Which of the 2 sovereigns is imbued with the moral law?
This basically just is screw the red team in Overwatch. There is really no true basis for the moral law other than just screw the red team. You should have the backing of your whole team. If not everybody is behind the shot caller, you will lose. That's a general rule that can be pretty consistent long as everyone's basically on the same skill level.
2. Which of the 2 generals has the most ability?
Which one of the shot callers is the most skilled at calling shots, choosing focus targets, noticing small movements, being able to read the opponents ahead of time? This is all a huge deciding factor.
3. With whom lie the advantages derived from heaven and earth?
What game type is it? What map is it? Which team are you on? Are you at a disadvantage for your team in that position?
4. On which side is discipline most rigorously enforced?
Which team has the most rigorously enforced discipline? Who has the shot caller who's willing to call out negative plays, but also being willing to offer alternatives? Be willing to tell that Orisa, hey, instead of putting your shield so far forward, you need to put it in the corner over here on the second point for defense in Temple of Anubis. It's stuff like this that can really be helpful when a shot caller has that ability.
5. Which army is stronger?
The strength of your team often relies on a mix of both the map and the hero choices. Hero choices are extremely important to match up with a map. I mean, Lucio is always useful, but he's, for example, less useful in Temple of Anubis than he is on other maps because there are no environmental kills possible in Temple of Anubis. There's no drop-offs there.
6. On which side are officers and men more highly trained? And 7. In which army is there greater constancy in both reward and punishment?
A consistent shot caller is able to get more of what Sun Tzu calls the moral law. A consistent shot caller is able to make every player on a team feel like they are pulling the same weight as every other player, that they are being treated the same as every other player. Nobody's being singled out in a positive or negative way.
By means of these 7 considerations, I can forecast victory or defeat. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel, nor acts upon it, will suffer defeat. Let such a one be dismissed. While heeding the profit of my counsel, avail yourself also to any helpful circumstances over and beyond the ordinary rules.
There will be stuff in the Art of War that is not necessarily going to cover what you have in front of you in game. You are going to have to think on the fly outside of the Art of War. You need to be able to use your mental assets, your mental faculties. Now, a lot of what was said here I had little to no commentary on, because all of what was detailed was fairly self-explanatory, and was just setting the framework for the Art of War itself. Future editions of this series will have far more commentary and cover far fewer proverbs in more time. On top of this, I'd like to detail a theorem brought to the surface by fighting game champ Laugh, otherwise known as Ryan On, as I learned from watching a video by Core Gaming. There are essentially 3 types of fighting game players, and every player can be mapped out on a radar chart for their degree of mastery over each of these playstyles. Laugh calls them the mind, the heart, and the body. To elaborate, the mind is a player who does their best to know and recognize as many situations as possible, as well as their counters. Think of Zarya or an Orisa, who are knowledgeable about their team and know exactly how and when to deploy their shields and ults with great efficiency. The guy who sees you have a Genji, Symmetra, and Lucio, and then switches to Winston. The heart is a player who delights in playing mind games with their opponents. This includes force tilting, cross-ups, etc. Think the Genji you just can't hit and he wipes your team and types easy in match chat. Or the Widowmaker who gets low, then hooks away for you to chase her, only for a Rhine charge to come around the corner, pin you, and one-shot you. The body is the player who is skilled at executing individual techniques with precision. Think the Doomfist, who one-shots your tanks for 600 HP with a tricky combo, lining them up against the wall and then knocking them out of bounds. Think the Lucio, who's such a slippery frog that he's just as mobile as your team's Pharah. They're generally the most impressive to watch due to their strong skill sets, but this doesn't necessarily translate into victories. You'll see this as I play through my placement matches, especially where I get to play as Lucio, and I'll be using this bit of information to try to discern other players' playstyles from mine as the game goes on. For more info on this, please watch Core Gaming's video here. I'm going to link to it right now. It's worth the watch, even if it's about fighting games and not Overwatch. So, because most of everything here is purely informational, and about the setting the foundation of the Art of War as opposed to giving direct instructions, I'll be showing you what my current skill level is as I play my first few placement matches for this season.
Let's get patched
Heroes never die.
Push her.
Justice reigns from above.
Drop the beat. Get back.
Damage boost engage.
Best round 1.
Let's get you healed up.
The objective is now
Taking the point. They're all over me.
You feel
My
that?
ultimate is charging.
Serve. Nothing's gonna stop us. Check that.
My ultimate is charging.
I've got you in my sights.
The point under attack. Isn't something to think about.
Healing boost.
Heroes never die.
Bit. Oh, let's break it. Damn!
It's 12 o'clock.
It's
Oh, shit,
9
I
p.m.
Can't kill yourself, Junkrat anymore.
Is it 9:45 for you guys too?
Yes.
We live right next. Are you my
Yeah.
neighbor?
Yes.
Your neighbor.
Can I?
Oh my
I'm
god,
watching
let's go
over
live
you.
in California or something, because we're all linked on the same. See what I did there? Linked.
Oh, we're not all in California.
Bye bye.
61. Whoa. Oh, I didn't even know you were there. I'm so sorry. Wait, we almost have the point though. Get that Reaper. Wait, we almost have this.
Go, Link.
I'm
Survive.
at a mech.
I'm gonna backdoor again. It
Wait,
seems to be
contested.
working.
Oh, this Reaper's
Yeah.
here.
Their spawns
No!
like literally 2 inches away. I hate how those spawns on the second point are literally right in front of it, so you don't even have to do anything. Like, you gotta wipe them, and then if they, and then you gotta wipe them like 2 times in order to get the point at least.
Hey, Link, guess who's online?
Max, I know, I saw him. I like queued up as fast as possible.
He's in a group and they're playing quick play.
Alright, both their healers are down.
What the fuck?
Alright,
Is
go
he
in.
getting carried by people? Because he's at 1791.
He said
Oh my
that
God.
he knows a bunch of plat players, but I don't know how he's playing with them if he's in silver.
Winging and getting beat.
They must be low plat.
I'm gonna backdoor.
Reaper's at the corner.
What? How did I not wall run? Okay. I'm glad I was recording that because I don't see how I did not wall run.
Riz, where's the Riz?
Time to accelerate.
Wait.
Who's going to the left?
Yes! I'm here! God help me! Somebody, anyone! Fuck.
It feels like somebody's watch.
Nope, I got hit out of the sky by the Reinhardt.
I'm dead.
Yay, more lost SR. My favorite thing on the planet.
This is straight up bullying now.
Guys, come on, group up with me.
Wait, where are we? What the fuck, Lucio?
Oh my god!
What? I'm lagging just by looking at you.
Oh, here comes the Doomfist. Get ready.
What
shit, you barely
Doomfist?
missed. He's half?
Lucio, can I? Oh, never mind.
I'm not Lucio. I am now Hodrog.
Ascended.
I'm Fat Lucio now.
Oh shit.
Wait, let her come out. Let her come out. Get out of here!
Wait, can you hit that Reaper out?
Get back here, you son of a bitch.
Oh! Yes. My flashbang.
Get over here, junk boy.
Guys, I'm actually a pro Genji.
Ooh. I've always wanted one of those. I thought you were pro junk.
I'm
Who's
a pro
even your
Genji.
main?
I have ult. So
I don't have a main. Like, I'm like being completely honest. I don't know what a main is.
Heroes never die.
Oh. Right after
The
Red.
person you played.
$20.
Yeah.
I'm not gay, but 20 bucks is 20 bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Link has no penis.
I don't.
Come on, let's bring it together.
I'm gonna leave
Penis.
Watch out for Reaper.
What
He's,
Reaper?
Like, doing work. The Reaper
You guys
right
ready
there.
to see this?
I don't see a Reaper.
With the Reaper.
All I see is a dead. Okay, who is shooting at me from? Oh, it's Reaper. Reaper. It's the Reapist.
It up. Oh,
Res
please.
me.
What?
You're on triggered.
Wait.
Wait, you should have gone back in the mech. I was looking at your booty.
Okay.
Guys, go in. Go in. Get in my field of view, Diva. Oh my gosh, Diva. Bye bye.
I died.
I need healing.
It's okay, I got you, baby.
All you're trying to do is hook people into the well now.
Yeah, who isn't? Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Nope.
I basically stayed on that deck, Lucio.
No.
Good on Who's on the point? What is this? Who are these people?
Yeah, why are they on
No!
the
Why? You bumped her out! You bumped her out! I was gonna boop her in, you
Scummy.
bumped her out.
I need help. I need help.
Don't worry, I'll clear the point. Get out of here, Lucio. He's back!
Oh
No!
no, bye Genji. Wait, no, you're back. Never mind.
Boop.
Yeah, I'm
Bye
back.
bye.
Fire in the hole. Oh shit.
I have to let this bowling.
I swear,
Oh
if
my
they actually
God.
take the
I
point.
was behind a wall.
Oh shit, I got booped.
Y'all
No,
cheers.
please. No, Boomstead
He ain't looking
I
good.
was behind the wall.
Lucio. Blood.
Wait. Stall. Wait, are
Stay
you still there?
on. Stay on. No, I died.
Get this fucking
Becoming the dragon.
No, I'm trapped. I'm trapped.
No! No! Oh my god, thank you.
Get this
Lucio
fucking
bumped.
Lucio.
I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna crucify this Lucio.
Get in
Oh,
there.
he almost got that boop. Shields down. Lucio.
Oh, I thought he almost got him.
Please, somebody save me from this monster. Thank you. Let's go.
Finally!
Finally.
Holy
Thank God.
crap.
I'm gonna go in the well now.
Oh, soldier's joining you.